Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or martial artist? No.
Hey guys, welcome to the Macho Channel. But you know something? Today I'm not going to be nice. It's time to take off the gloves and play dirty.
Me.
So it's no secret that here on the channel we love to celebrate our beloved action heroes. But what do these action heroes actually think of each other? Now let's take a look at Steven Seagal and see how he feels about his fellow action colleagues. Now, before we take this to a whole nother level, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? Alright, time to whoop some. Okay, so John Leguizamo is not exactly known for having the biggest muscles or being the biggest action star in Hollywood. However, he has appeared in some pretty decent action films. Okay, so he has worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Collateral Damage, Keanu Reeves in John Wick 1 and 2, and of course, Steven Seagal in Executive Decision. Here's what the man has to say about his experience with Mr. Seagal. Apparently during a rehearsal, Steven Seagal walked in and said that he was in control and asked if anyone disagreed. John Leguizamo thought it sounded ridiculous, so he started laughing. Apparently Seagal did not like it and he literally threw him up against the wall and knocked all the air out of him. So it's safe to say that John Leguizamo is not exactly Seagal's biggest fan these days. I'm sure Steven Seagal just had a very bad day. Okay, so that was one time. You know, accidents happen. Anyway, let's see what Steven Seagal has to say about Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White?
Can I laugh in your face?
Really?
Yes.
Most people, including myself, see Michael Jai White as a badass martial arts action dude that has done movies in Hollywood for over 30 years. And the man definitely has a couple of tricks up his sleeve. Anyway, let's see what else Seagal has to say about his colleague.
Do I think Michael is a tough guy? No. Do I think he's a martial artist? No.
Now that's pretty interesting. Is it possible that Michael Jai White pees his pants when he thinks of Steven Seagal? Or not so much? Keep in mind, these two action guys have worked together on 3 different movies. I don't know about you guys, but to me it looks like Michael Jai White knows a thing or two.
3.
Then again, maybe Steven Seagal has some secret moves called Jedi tricks. Ah, you must be Steven Seagal!
No, that is true, and now I will show my Aikido shit on you!
Okay, let's stay grounded and get back to planet Earth. So where does Dolph Lundgren fit into all of this? Guys, could you imagine what a real fight between Steven Seagal and Dolph Lundgren would actually look like? Or maybe we should just do a movie. Casey Ryback versus Ivan Drago. And of course, the fight is to take place on the deck of the USS Missouri.
Dolph Lundgren? Kyokushin karateka? Used to be competitive?
Oh, he's a very nice guy. Do I think he's a tough guy and a great martial artist? He's just a great guy and...
Okay, so what can we take away from that? Well, he definitely did not throw Dolph Lundgren under the bus, but he did not exactly compliment him either. So it's no secret that one of the biggest action feuds in Hollywood history among tough guys has got to be between Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, so this is where it starts to get really nasty. By the way guys, I have several videos in the playlist about these two guys, so feel free to check them out. In 1994, Van Damme did the movie Time Cop, and in an interview he said this: I have only met Steven Seagal twice. I was nice to him, I shook his hand, but for some reason he doesn't like me very much. He talks about me, but I don't talk about him.
Thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Can I laugh in your face? Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or martial artist? No.
So these two guys and their feud goes back over 30 years, and it doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon. Let's see what else Seagal has to say.
Do you know Van Damme?
No.
You've heard of him? Mm-hmm. What do you think of his work? As a martial artist first.
Ooh, I don't know if we need an explanation here. That face expression of Seagal's? Well, it pretty much says it all, doesn't it? It seems like he considers Van Damme to be nothing but a little 5-year-old. And again, not very impressed by the man. Now, Van Damme was actually a competitive fighter back in the late 1970s. And he did appear in several martial arts competitions and had dozens of fights under his belt. and he won most of them. Now let's see how Steven Seagal feels about Jean-Claude Van Damme, the competitive martial artist and champion.
I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Okay, I think the testosterone level just went up. I should mention though that this interview was conducted back in the early 1990s, and at the time there was no internet, so it was obviously much harder to check on things. However, nonetheless, this is how Seagal felt. So what does Van Damme have to say about Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal, he should lose some weight, be a little more fast.
He's put on the pounds.
Yeah.
And now to the big question, why does Seagal not like Van Damme?
Doesn't like me much.
Why doesn't he like you?
Because maybe I'm good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, okay, I'm not sure if Van Damme is just being modest here, or if he's just extremely confident in his own abilities. So to answer the question here, is it possible that Seagal simply does not like Van Damme because he's good? Or does he see him as a threat since he's a fellow action guy? So Van Damme is not exactly known for trashing his action friends, but he occasionally makes fun of them. So what do you guys think of Van Damme imitating Steven Seagal in regards to both his fighting as well as the way the man walked? Is he spot on or what? At one point, these two guys almost got into a real fight. Sylvester Stallone witnessed the whole thing. Here's what Rambo has to say about the incident. At a party in my home in Miami in 1997, Van Damme was tired of Seagal claiming he could kick his ass, so he offered Seagal outside into my backyard. Seagal made his excuses and left, but Van Damme, who was berserk, tracked him down at a nightclub and offered him out again. The fight never actually materialized, but Stallone is confident who would have won. He adds, Van Damme was too strong. Seagal wanted none of it. So we have one guy left on the list. Someone that everybody respects as a true martial artist. Chuck Norris is not only a martial arts legend, but also a Hollywood badass. He has been in the film industry for over 50 years, and he got his start when he played the bad guy opposite Bruce Lee in the movie The Way of the Dragon. However, in the 60s he was all about martial arts, and he even won the world championship. In my mind, that definitely qualifies him as a true martial artist. Anyway, since this video is mostly about how Seagal feels about these other action guys, why don't we ask him about Chuck Norris?
I mean, Chuck is in his mid-70s. He's probably 76 years old.
Interesting.
Okay, so Seagal did not exactly trash Chuck Norris like he has done with Van Damme, for example, but he did not compliment him either. Now let's check out what Chuck Norris thinks about Steven Seagal as a martial artist and on screen.
How good is Seagal? Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know Steven. See, most of Seagal's movies, his action is done close up. You really can't see. Everything is real quick cuts, so you don't get a chance to really see exactly what he's doing.
Okay, and in regards to Steven Seagal's tough guy behavior, and if he or any other action guys has the guts to challenge good old Chuck.
Has he ever crunched your instep or anything? Or, no. They, they wouldn't dare.
All right, Chuck, you tell him.
They wouldn't dare.
Now let's ask Chuck Norris about Steven Seagal's bully behavior and if the man has the right philosophy in life or not.
He carries over in his whole life. Really? Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, for a martial artist, it kind of surprises me, too.
So there's definitely been a lot of trashing in this video, but why don't we end it on a more happy note? If Steven Seagal were to put together his own little super army of tough guys or martial arts actors, what would it look like?
Jason Statham is a wonderful action guy. Jet Li, fantastic action guy, who, by the way, is a real martial artist.
Yes.
Okay, so at least that's good news, that Steven Seagal isn't against all the action guys in the world, even though it would make one hell of a movie. Anyway, are there other fighters / actors that Seagal likes?
Randy's a real fighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we add it all up, this is what Steven Seagal's Private Army or Expendable movie would actually look like. Now, whether you like or dislike Steven Seagal as an actor, martial artist, or a human being, there was a time when he was one of the biggest action stars on the planet. And now, at 70 years of age, he still knows a thing or two. So based on everything we just saw, the big question of the day would be, what is a martial artist? Because it seems like all our martial arts action guys disagrees. Are you considered a martial artist if you go to a martial arts school a couple of days a week and that's pretty much it? Or do you need to be an 8th degree black belt and have studied for decades and dedicated your entire life to the art? Yeah, okay, so clearly we're talking about some serious testosterone around here, but maybe you guys can help me out. Seriously, of all the action guys in Hollywood, past and present, who do you think would actually win a fight in real life? Why don't you comment and let me know? And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.